Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. My name is Yanofula. This is Weekend at 1. We're coming to you live from the Standard Group Center. Now we begin with an update where Nyatike, a member of parliament, Anyanga Omondi, was last night attacked and seriously injured at his current home in Nairobi. The MP was allegedly attacked by 4 armed men as he drove into his house. It is said that as soon as he got out of his vehicle, he was escorted by the men who were already in the compound. The MP was shot during the scuffle. He was rushed to the current hospital for treatment before being transferred to Aga Khan Hospital. Recently, the Member of Parliament has been in the news on allegations of corruption that have rocked the Public Accounts Committee.
Nimepata information kwamba mwenzangu ambaye ni mjumbe jirani ameumia na amepigwa na risasi na wajambazi. Tumekuja hapo hospitali kumuona, lakini tumekuta kwamba anashughulikiwa na daktari na condition zake sio mbaya sana.
There was a struggle and they pinned him down, and there were about 4 attackers hooded, armed with AK-47 rifles. That is the information he gave me. So they struggled and they pinned him down and they hit him on the head several times.
Moving on, it is with optimism that Mombasa welcomes a cruise ship bringing 394 tourists to the coastal town, giving a much-needed boost to the tourism industry. MV Silversea Whisper docked in Mombasa this morning with passengers from different countries, many of them from the United States citizens. The tourists are set to visit Savo National Park, Shimba Hills, among other tourist destinations at the coast. The cruise ship is sailing across the Indian and Atlantic Oceans on a tour around the world. It leaves tomorrow for other tourist destinations in other countries. This is the first time a cruise ship has docked in Mombasa since the United States, Britain and other few West African countries issued travel advisories restricting their nationals from visiting parts of Kenya due to the insecurity in the region.
What is important to us is that this is the first cruise ship that we are receiving this year, and indeed also when we look at the status of the cruise ship, we are told that this is a 5-star cruise ship, and this is the first one that is coming in a long while. The other thing also we are informed is that about 90% of the people who are in this ship are from the US. So really this is a very strong endorsement from the organizers and from all the stakeholders for us to receive this ship.
As the world marks the World Water Day, close to 8,000 people in Isiolo and Taita Taveta counties have benefited from 2 water projects funded by Safaricom Foundation. Safaricom Foundation Chairman Joseph Ogutu noted that at least 4,000 people in Isiolo and other 3,700 in Taita Taveta would benefit from the water community projects. He noted that making water accessible to the 2 communities, a child mortality will significantly reduce. More girls will continuously attend school and more women will be in a position to undertake economic activities. Safaricom Foundation spent a total of 59 million shillings in 2 projects implemented by the Action Aid. Action Aid Executive Director noted that women and young girls from Badana community in Isiolo used to trek for 30 kilometers to access water, while those in Taita Taveta would walk for 15 kilometers.
Kabla hajaenda kwa mto akaleta maji aende shuleni. Na mara nyingi ungekuta hata kwa sababu ile anachota sini kidogo inabidi aende aoge kwa mto kabisa na ni ya baridi.
Saa 10 unaenda utarudi saa 10 ya jioni. Hakuna kupika mchana chakula. Watoto wanakaa njaa, hata mzee anakaa njaa. Watoto anachelewa shule.
We are delighted to be part of this project. We are delighted that the people of this area are going to be impacted in a very positive way as they have access of water close to their villages.
A section of opinion leaders in Kajiado North are protesting against what they term as mishandling of the Jubilee Alliance party in the area. The leaders from the sub-county say that party officials have allowed those they call political opportunists to take charge of the county politics. They claim these as the people who imposed their choice of candidates in the recent by-election on the electorate. They claim that the Jubilee top leadership is being misled by the alleged brokers.
Ile kura tuko naye saa hii ni ya rais peke yake, kwa sababu kama mabrokers ndio tumeweka tuliwachagua na wameanza kuinterfere na nomination process katika Kajiado County, inaonekana haki ya mwananchi haijapatikana.
Also in Nakuru, police have arrested a 42-year-old man on allegations of defilement of two of his daughters. Samson Otieno is detained at the teachers' police station as the police launch investigations into the claims. The two girls, aged 6 and 9, are admitted at the Nakuru branch of the Nairobi Women's Hospital. According to hospital records, the minors were defiled on numerous occasions, and this has affected their walking. The suspect will be arraigned in court on Monday.
Nilijiita kalimba kubwa, alafu kaita hivi kamwambia atoe nguo.
The two girls were brought in yesterday by their class teacher because one had difficulty walking and sitting. So the teacher raised alarm and the child disclosed that the father had defiled her, and then they rushed her to hospital. Then they were examined, and yes, indeed, the results were positive that the father had defiled them.
At least 2,000 youth in Mombasa County are set to be employed after the county government launched a fish farming project. During the launch, Governor Ali Hassan Joho said that giving the youth employment opportunities is one of his government's strategies in dealing with radicalization. It will all start with the little fingerlings in these water tanks. Should all of the 1,000 of them be reared properly, a whole container would generate at least 500,000 shillings for the group of 10 youth assigned to this particular water tank, meaning 10 less idle youth, according to the Mombasa County government. And it's scenes such as these that the government is forging to get rid of recurrent police raids, battles, demonstrations, and even terror attacks, which have been attributed to radicalization, a result of youth unemployment. Governor Ali Hassan Joho, while unveiling the fish farming project, said that 180 water tanks had been distributed equally to all 30 wards, opening doors to over 2,000 youth in the county.
Vijana kila wakituona na tuambia governor tunataka ajira. Mimi nataka niwaambie sisi tunataka nyinyi wenyewe mjiajiri. Kwa sababu matajiri walioko dunia hii wengi wao hawajawahi kuajiriwa.
But Joho was challenged by other local leaders to introduce laws to ensure that there would be ready market for the youth.
Ni lazima katika kila shelf either ya Nakumat, Naivas, Uchumi supermarket ama mahali pengine popote wanapoweka bidhaa zao 20% ni lazima iwe ya local content, ambayo ni lazima vijana wetu waweze kuweka mali yao waweze kupata market.
The county government vowed to foster more projects in the fight against unemployment in the coastal region. It is the high dream of almost every Kenyan to own a home, but the high cost of houses has locked out many from living this dream. And a young group of professionals here in Nairobi are keen on delivering affordable properties by teaming up to fundraise and sell off houses at pocket-friendly rates. KTN's Abia Gina met up with the group and brings us their story.
Ordinarily, a good chunk of men between the ages of 25 to 30 ought to be on course in making a name in their career, or better still, be doing not so bad in whatever business they are in. At this age, one would have cleared their education and settled in a particular career. Most would be living in a decent house, paying rent religiously as they work out ways of one day transitioning to becoming homeowners. But for a few, the story is different. Meet Hitler Olwenge, an aviator at the airport. He and his partners have barely hit 32 years and they are defying the odds.
About 11 of us, then we decided to invest some funds, just a little bit of money, and over time that money has grown threefold. And again, having met the proprietor of Moke, we decided, okay, why don't we go for these apartments?
The returns from the house, we are going now to use it to buy more units so that we can invest for our future, as early as now. Because if we decide to wait, we can end up waiting and missing some nice opportunities like these ones.
Olwenge, the brains behind the investment group dubbed Relative Merchants, rallied his friends to start investing in property with very little capital.
At the end of the day, we get some property here and there, and that's what we decided with the group.
These are some of the just finished housing units on Mombasa Road at Lukenya Hills, which they have invested in.
So, for example, we have about 4 groups now who have come, and they have booked to purchase blocks of apartments strictly for investment.
Surprisingly, these houses are not your typical highly priced apartments and bungalows. So far, they have managed to put up 27 bungalows and 27 more are coming up. Their entry into the real estate market was anchored on the growing demand for housing within the urban areas.
You look at the number of youth in this particular country, they constitute to about 60 to 70%. They are the ones who in the next few years to come are going to actually run the economy. And the energy they kind of have, they are very vibrant, you know very well. So the future of the real estate is the in thing, because you look at even the youth themselves, none of them is really connecting to their rural folks at all. They are urbanized.
The growing number of young professionals teaming up to raise capital to undertake investments is fast seeing a number of them joining the Millionaires Group. Although there are still gaps in accessing funding for youths to invest, for this group, their story is all about doing the seemingly impossible and being ready to take risks.
Welcome back. Let's get into sports now. The Kenya Harlequins will face KCB in the Enterprise Cup quarterfinals next weekend. Queens qualified for the quarterfinals of the Enterprise Cup after they emerged victorious over Cabras in a match played at the RFUA grounds on Saturday. In another tie, Strathmore University advanced to the quarterfinals with a 38-22 win over Mean Machine. Robinson Okenye with the details.
After finishing 4th in the 2014-2015 Kenya Cup season, Strathmore were presented with a chance to redeem themselves today as they took on Mean Machine in an all-varsity side Enterprise Cup tie. Leos were quick off their feet as they took a 5-0 lead. Leos continued to hover in Machine's half, and moments later Cyprian Ikuta made matters 10-0. Machine, however, showed they were not on holiday as Richard Alai replied with a converted try to keep them in the game. Machine's attack did not sit well with Micho Chola's boys as they made an extra 7 points to keep a firm grip on their lead. Strathmore demonstrated their prowess before the break as Humphrey Owar and Collins Mugambi combined to add 14 points for a 31-7 halftime lead. Machine added 15 points in the second half but fell short as Strathmore crossed the line one more time and went for a 38-22 win. In other ties of the day, Western Bull bellowed loud as they crushed Mwamba 19-12 in Kakamega. Despite being level on 12 points at halftime, Bulls made 7 points in the second half to emerge victorious. Kenya Harlequins won 39-30 over Cabra Sugar at the RFUA grounds, while Homeboys thrashed Black Blood 45-5. Robinson Okenye, KTN Sports.
Asbel Kiprop, 2 times world 1500-meter champion, is among other athletes bidding to make the cut to the second IAAF World Relay Champions set to take place in Nassau, Bahamas on May the 2nd to 3rd. Kiprop stepped out of his 1500-meter comfort zone and won the 800-meter race in Saturday's relays meeting at the Nyayo Stadium.
Asbel Kiprop was at his best as he fired warning shots to his rivals ahead of the Bahamas IAAF World Relays. lining up with World Junior 800-meter champion Alfred Kipketer, Nicholas Kiplagat, and former World Youth 400-meter silver medalist Jeremiah Mutai. Kiprop utilized his long strides and pace to clock an impressive 1 minute 44.4 seconds to register the best time of the day in the 2-lap race. Kipketer was second in 1 minute 45 seconds, the second best time over the distance in the competition. With 4x1500 meter off the list in the IAAF World Relay Championship set for Bahamas, Asbel Kiprop is set to star in the 4x800 meters.
I'm going to take part in the mid relays where it has a mile, the 1200, 800 and the 400. In that category I'm going to do, I think, part of the 800. Yeah, because the 800 guys are going to do the 4x8. I'm only one that I think could import the 8 and 15.
This, however, does not mean Asbel Kiprop has shifted his running gear. His comfort zone still remains to be 1500 meters, and in this season he remains determined to defend his World Athletics Championship crown.
We have good athletes, especially from Kenya and also from Djibouti, and not forgetting American Central. He's a good athlete. He's got bronze in 2010 and silver in 2013, so he's coming up. But I'm not underrating anyone who's coming to the finals. I'm going to keep my pace.
In the women's 1500 meters front, newcomer Virginia Nyambura, who is under the tutelage of Milka Chemos and Alex Sang in Kapsabet, gave a masterclass performance, winning that race.
Nataka Bahamas. Sasa ndo nikajiada. Bila nilisikia hii trials nikasema mpaka nikuje nijaribu. At least nione kama naweza.
The national trials for relay team is slotted for the 1st and 2nd April at Nyayo Stadium, where the Kenya team for the 2nd IAAF Relay Championship set for Bahamas will be selected.
Well, and that story brings us to a close this afternoon. Do continue enjoying some of our programs. Our Twitter handle is @KTN Kenya. Facebook is KTN Kenya as well. Let us know what is happening around you. My name is Ian Wafula. Have a lovely afternoon.